What's up, everybody? Midjourney Fast Hours Podcast, episode 57. Let's go, Rory Flynn. Let's go, baby. Right. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
This is in true fashion, right? I think last week was a down week. We had like not much. It was kind of like, oh, let's go through Grok and some of the other things. And then here we go, like another industry shifting week.
Everything just comes at once. Work, tools, everything. Just drop it in your lap, and here we go.
Right, and right before Thanksgiving, of course, for any of the Americans that are watching right now. we know next week is kind of like half crazy, half not crazy. It's like people try to get stuff in, even though they know you're not going to do anything on Thursday and Friday.
I used to love these long weekends, because it was just like, I still do, right? But for different reasons. I used to love them from the standpoint of, oh, I'm gonna get to catch up with some things. I can spend some extra time playing, right? I get to do this and do that. With kids, that ain't the case, man. That is not the case at all. They're home, school's not happening. So it's just a long extended weekend parenting, but we'll make it. And yeah, man, we're also streaming live right now. Why don't you, if anybody's listening to this, feel free to like, subscribe. We're also going to put this on YouTube over the weekend as well. But it kind of felt like we should probably live stream a little bit too as well. I mean, the Nano stuff just dropped. We're going to talk through that, Nano Pro. And then Midjourney dropped 2 new releases on us in the same week. We knew it was coming, but back-to-back days was, I don't know if I was expecting that. So we're going to dive into classic, both the user profile and the style creator. And we're going to go through that live, just kind of do a deep dive, first reactions, what we expect there. And go from there, man.
Totally. Like it. Obviously, Midjourney and Nano, same week, big stuff. You don't even know where to put your attention anymore. Like the Midjourney stuff, I've been really excited about the style creator to see how that was going to be rolled out. I think looking at it the first time, I was a little bit confused, to be honest. I was like, what am I doing? And then I realized what was going on. And
I was too.
Go through this.
Okay, so let's start there then, because I was feeling the same way actually. I went through it 2 separate times and I felt like an idiot, and I was like, am I not doing this right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So let's put something in. We'll run through this together. I'm just gonna do my favorite short emoji prompt here, and let's talk about what you did wrong, because for me, I know I did just about everything wrong before I did it right.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what am I, am I choosing multiple ones? Am I choosing just one? And then I would keep hitting skip grid. And once I hit because I was like, I didn't know that you had to then refine style. So yeah, if you want to, we should probably go through this. First off, it's on the left now, on your left-hand side. It says style
right here
in beta. Is this on alpha or is this on regular now too?
This is on regular.
Regular? Okay. So yeah, that's there. And then you'll get this grid of, I think this is 18? No, 21. 21 images. You can also, on the right above select styles, you can make the grid smaller, right? So that's the one thing, trim it back down to 10 images. I was looking at it in this view to make it easier for myself.
Same.
But apparently, the way this thing works is you have to just run through this a couple times. You have to go through a few different styles that you want to like and a few different avenues to sort of refine your style. We'll have Faye make a guest appearance here to say hi.
Hey, baby Faye, what's going on, girl?
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, you guys are talking about Midjourney? Let me in.
It must be Friday. You idiots are talking again? God.
Yeah, but there's so that was what first got me. I was like, wait, do I hit refine style now after I clicked on one, or do I?
I was so confused because I went here, choose a prompt to refine. I'm like, okay, I think I did that right. Select your favorite style. So I'm thinking favorite means heart.
Okay.
So I'm going through and I'm like hitting these, right? And I'm not seeing anything change. So I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, okay. So then I go down here and it says submit to receive a new grid. So then I'm hovering this and it says submit. And so I'm hitting submit. And I'm like going through this process for like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, I don't think this is getting any closer to anything that I'm trying to do. And so I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second, that's not right. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I went back and watched that video, that quick video that Midjourney dropped. And it was like, oh, just, click it. And I was like, oh, idiot. I'm an idiot. Also, it says submit to receive. I think they need to sort of refine it by saying click refine style, right? Because I was hovering this and I thought this meant submit, right? And so I was just like, it took me a while to sort of like get my bearings on that. I was really, really confused. But I think those are all the ways you can fail with this. So that we covered the bases with that. But the idea is that, right, you're selecting your favorite styles that you're trying to go for, whatever look that you're going to. And first reaction, Rory, this feels a lot like Style Tuner, bro. A lot like Style Tuner.
Very much so.
So, you can select one, you can select multiple, right? But each time you're selecting these and then you're going to hit refine style and it updates your style. If you don't like any of these, to your point, you can skip this grid entirely. We get a brand new grid, right? So you're not necessarily confined to that either. And then, let's maybe go through this. Let's just say this and this. We're going to refine the style. This starts to generate here. And then I think I saw something from Midjourney. It's like, hey, you probably need at least 5 to feel like a solidified output on this. But you could go up to 15, 20, 30, right? And I think probably the more that you do, the more solidified it would get. But it was just, it was really interesting to kind of like go through that process for the first time. I didn't think it was super intuitive. And it makes me feel better that you got it wrong too, actually. So.
Because then I'm like, what's happening on the side here? Like, what are these 4 images that are generating? And then I'm like, I'm trying to click on them. They can't happen. It took me like a minute to realize that it was popping up in the create. and then
I didn't want to like click over and lose my spot either.
Yeah,
so like I
exactly.
opened up a new tab and I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what it would currently look like. Okay. Let's do something else. This is going to generate a unique style number for you, style code.
Yep.
So you're going to get that. So that's essentially the output that you're going for here. I don't know. I'm just picking ones that I think are cool here. Do that. We'll click refine style again. That's 4. I don't know. These are kind of cool.
This is one thing. If you go back to your create page, I think everyone should highlight or just at least know, which I am happy about this feature, is that each one of these new
gives you new code.
Yeah, so it's like even if you like, it's not like you lose your progress and like it's like it wiped out if you like selected a style and it totally like bombs it. It's like, all right, I can still have like go back.
That made me feel good because it eliminated the anxiety of fucking it up. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if I want to pick this one. Is this one gonna mess it all up? But that's a great point. That's a great point.
Because I want to play with it. Like I want to see like what does this like random style thrown in here do?
Absolutely,
which is good, and that's something that I was pretty impressed with, which I was like, okay, good thought, because I know that's exactly what the first thing that would go through my head was, if I'm going to keep doing this, it's going to keep updating in real time. I'm going to want to have some like history tracking on that.
100%. I'm glad they did that. That was really smart. Yeah, I like that. I think the one thing, just like with all codes though, where can I save this? I got to create a folder for this. The ones I really like. It's going to be hard to keep track. Yeah.
I would say smart folder. If that's the best way to do it, you're going to use a style code as the parameter there to save in the smart folder. And then you can save your styles that way. It's just, it's going to be, organization isn't my thing.
It's not my thing either. So we're effed either way. But I think this is super interesting. What are your, with you being so, like, I just remember you were so excited about Style Tuner was your baby. I don't know how deep you've gone into this yet. Like, how excited are you for this feature? Does this feel like something that you're going to use?
I would like a little bit more control, I guess, when we thought about like what was going to go into this. It still feels a little bit random. Like I'm just creating like a mood board from random images at this point. Which I'm like, I'm not upset about it. I think it's pretty cool that you can do this, and it's fun to blend. But it's like basically up to the curation of image sets that you get in your grid to see if you like it. It's like, what if I like none of them and I'm swiping through 5 times and I'm just like, all right, it's not what I'm looking for. 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 I'd like to have like maybe a functionality where I could drop in an image and be like, all right, or like use
Ooh, yeah.
like the search function on that some way to like go through the styles and like click the ones that I'm looking for, like how you can do this, not just the smart search,
Yeah.
but search in the styles.
Yeah.
Because this feels a little random still, and that's not a bad thing. It's just like sometimes I want to, I'm looking for certain colors or I'm looking for certain, textures or whatever. I'm saying this like I've used it a million times. I've used it twice, I think.
I think those no, but those are good. Those are good call outs though, man. I'm with you 100% on those.
Like if you could use the smart search in here, like let's just say you used like the little smart search, the little magnifying glass search on one of those styles, and it brought up the other styles like in the explore page.
That would be dope. Yeah, to almost like quickly refine within that sort of aesthetic. Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah, like that.
That's sort of where my head's at with those, because it's like right now I kind of again, this feels like SRF random. I like it. I feel like it's also getting, the more you refine them a little bit more tailored it's getting downstream. Like it's a little less random, so it's a little bit more like in tune with what the style already is. I might be wrong on that, but that's just sort of how I was interpreting it as it moved along.
Yeah, and you'll notice that I collect a complete tutorial here, and this changed. Mm-hmm. So this is now showing these in a little bit of a larger format, says the ideal minimum, showcases your OG, blah, blah, blah. Tells you how many times you refined it. Okay.
I liked OG as an original generation. Okay, I like
OG.
Yeah. and in true live fashion, I have to go close my door real quick. So just continue on without me for 1 second.
I mean, you should have just left and gauged my reaction of like, what the hell's going on here? But
see ya.
Yeah, man, this is interesting. I mean, I love that this is here. I think to your point, I like the recommendations that you just sort of pointed out. Maybe some areas that you could add that seem relatively easy or quick that would maybe dial this in, save you a little bit of time on the exploration side of it, maybe even get a little bit better curation from that standpoint. My knock, outside of just like the intuitiveness of like getting in here for the first time, and we're just like keeping it real 100% here, I mean, is I don't know how much I need this.
Yeah, it's fun. Just another fun thing to do.
It's fun. I just I don't know if I need it, right? Like it's like we've got style codes, we've got style explorer, you can blend codes, right? It's just kind of like it continues to go deeper and deeper into that, and I don't know. I don't know. For me, I don't know. It remains to be seen how often I'll use this, but I do think it's always fun to get something new, and it's just a different way to get to maybe a unique result that you could use in a project in that sense.
Definitely a good way to burn some fast hours, like just refine, like continuously refining and running through this stuff. And then also think we should probably also note it. You have to remember, if you like that code, to sort of end session. That's one thing that was one thing I noticed, that kept back going back in there. Yeah. And then
is there a benefit of clicking end session then?
Well, if you don't, it's just going to keep evolving the style with all the style, like the history tracking in there, right? So it's going to keep, if you want to start fresh, like, oh, I'm looking for an animated style versus like a photorealistic style, right? Like it's all going to sort of start to blend if you don't end.
Oh, that is true, right? So if you leave and maybe come back and it's still open and you forget.
Correct. Yeah. Because you see over here, it has your refinement number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you end session, it'll go back to OG.
Yep. That's a good point, man.
So that was definitely something that I noticed. Like, oh, okay, I have to stop this, or else who knows what. It'd be like when I just tag like 15 mood boards in an image to see what it'll get me, see how random it'll be.
I know, right? Like, let me just check all of these and let's see what happens.
Right.
So with that said, let's end this. Yeah, so this is what this is the screen it takes you to when you get here. I think, if you haven't been in here yet, learn from us. maybe save yourself a good 30 minutes or an hour in case you're idiots just like us and you do everything that you're not supposed to do before you can do what you're supposed to do. But yeah, this is super interesting. And then obviously, like outside of that, we also got user profiles the day before.
Correct. Yes.
And let's jump into that, dude, because I think this is super interesting. Also kind of feels like something that we've already had, but in a more visible format, because you still had, right? Like anytime you would have liked an image or something like that, you could click into a user profile and see public archives that they may have. But you didn't have the following tab. You didn't have the spotlight tab. You certainly didn't have like a dedicated page for yourself to, tag social profiles, etc. So this is super interesting. And I would love to hear your thoughts on sort of how they executed on this, with sort of how useful you think it is, how cool it is. They specifically mentioned, right, like that they're not going to show you total number of followers and things like that because they want this to be less of a social, format in that sort of like historical regard, and sort of like allow people to focus on the image generation, not follower counts, right? And not sort of like get into this vanity thing, which I think really stays in line with their ethos. But I'm curious to just get your thoughts on this overall.
That was definitely one of the big talking points that we had in that episode where we're like, what do we want? And I'm like, I don't want numbers. Like, I don't want followers. I don't want it to be about like who's doing what and like, can this be monetized in that way? Like, like in some way, shape, or form, the marketers start to like bleed in here. I am one, so I know that's probably what would happen. But yeah, like I was liking the fact that it's just like, okay, cool. Like you just throw in there what you want to, and I can just go follow someone if I want to, and I don't have to worry about like. I can just go see what Drew is throwing up there. And this is what we were talking about, like throwing up some of the stuff that would never see the light of day. Like I forgot about these stupid like isometric rock band things that I was doing. I really like them. It serves no purpose to me on social media or anything that I'm doing other than I like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like some stuff is so random.
Love this.
And I was just, I'm just like, all right, this is the random stuff that would never get posted.
Right? There it is. Yeah.
That was I made an edit on that one, so I figured we'd put it in.
Yeah, love that. I think spot on, right? So let's break this down in terms of what functionality you have in this, right? So and how this works. So you've got a spotlight section, which you can upload anything here that you want that you've created. This can also include, I think this can also include private things. So I run a lot of stealth. I've certainly got things that will show on archive, but a lot of my stuff is stealth. And I think this part allows you to use either stealth or public, right? So this is just like a quick hitter, maybe like what kind of images you want to generate or show off or whatever it is. Then you've got the archive section, which is that public record of images that you're generating. So I think this is super cool. There's some interesting things within here too. So like, let's say you wanted to curate this a bit. You can do that. Meaning like you could click this hamburger menu here and you can either make this private or you can trash the image completely. So I think like this will be interesting to see if like how people use this, but I could just say, hey, look, like I just want to trash this image. It's gone. Or I could just hit this, make private, and it's going to take all four of that grid generation of those images and make them all private. So all four of those will disappear. Okay. So like people could curate this a bit if they wanted to, so this could be like, I don't know if people will or not, but like this could be something that you curate if you want to, right? And then lastly, you've got this following tab, which just keeps track of everybody that you follow, right? So I'll just click on this
more
one.
Than one on there. You're the only person I'm following right now.
Yeah.
Keeping my circle tight.
I like it, baby. But you would just click this, right? So follow, and then what you can do from here like when you're just on your own profile, which how you get there, by the way, is just clicking on your profile name here, bottom left.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I click on that, brings me here, but I can just click random profile and it's just going to bring up random people. I think you can hotkey this too. Yes, you can. So if you press your arrows like you do in personalization, well, that was 1, 2, and 3. But if you use your arrows left and right, you can navigate this too.
Got it.
So it's kind of cool though, because I do like how it's like people can interconnect these things too, like other platforms. Like, oh, who is this? Like, do I know this person? Like, do I follow them on X or Instagram or something like that too? I think that's kind of interesting.
I did like that. Yeah. I thought that was like a nice way to like you can do your social thing by connecting with them on other social platforms. You know what I mean? I like the
Yeah.
Can you like stuff on here? Like, can you like
Yeah.
someone's?
Yeah.
But does that go to your
look.
favorites? Does that show up as like an engagement?
Oh, you can even spotlight somebody else's image. Is that right? Let me try that.
What does that do?
So add it to spotlight. So if I,
Spotlight.
it does.
Oh,
It's like it's
okay.
almost like
So
a
it's like a
it's almost like a retweet. Yeah.
All right.
Huh.
That's interesting.
I
And
wonder
you
if somebody
like
gets
something-
notified of that. Probably not, I guess.
So I was wondering if you like something, does it just show up in your favorites folder? Like, I didn't check that yet.
Yes. Yeah. So let's try that too. If I go back to this guy and I just put a heart on this, I believe so. Ooh, the suspense. The suspense is killing me.
That's right.
I mean,
the beauty
what are we doing
of,
here? No, I guess not. Does it not? I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Okay.
Is there?
I wonder if that's a bug or not.
Within the profile, like if you go back into your profile, is there anywhere to see like likes or something like that?
Oh.
Let's see. Archive, following. No.
Hmm.
Maybe not. Interesting.
I wonder if that's
All right,
like a bug.
Maybe.
I'm going to try this again. So if I do this, let's try it one more time.
You give it a good old.
There it is.
Okay.
So,
All right.
okay. Wonder why that.
There it is.
But now it's gone again.
That
That might be a
Give it a
bug.
refresh.
That might be a bug because
Yeah, it should be. I would assume
it should be.
that would happen.
Right? Intuitively, that would happen. But yeah, man. Any other like, I don't know, thoughts on that particular piece of this?
There's a few things that is I'm like into it because again, like I don't have to worry about it. Like I can just have fun with it, which is what, to me, like a good job for if Midjourney's listening again, just like a good job, like not making it like this whole sort of like rat race sort of like gamified thing here. Like it's just pure like a profile or like a portfolio, which I think is also good too. You think about this as anyone who's like doing this professionally, right? Like this is your portfolio now. Like you can just have Spotlight as your portfolio, and that's an easy thing to share. Now it's like it's not like, oh, let me download all this collections, put them somewhere, whatever. Like now you can curate it a little bit, and it's a little bit of show of your work, and everyone can see what you're doing. Like if I clicked into, like if you clicked into some of these images, right? Like if you go to following, like let's just see this real quick. This is the other thing that I have to remember. I can't remember if I did it or not. If you go into like, I don't know, Dream Aurora, and like is there a prompt thing here? Like if you click on the image, does it show the full prompt?
Yeah, should.
I got it. Perfect. So like, yeah, that to me is super useful, and especially from a like portfolio standpoint. It's like, here's what I'm doing. It's not just might be easy to suss out people that are just like car enter. Like,
yeah.
Oh, they just got lucky with the prompt.
They just got lucky, pulled it.
You can see sort of the thought process behind everything.
I think and there's probably and you heard it on Offstars too. There's people just what if I want to have things private. Well, I think that's where stealth comes in. You don't have to. You can control those things in Spotlight, but I think if you do put stealth things on Spotlight, it then becomes public, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a little bit of a trade-off, but they did talk about that on office hours, and there was sort of like they were trying to explain, hey, look, like we've always been community first in terms of like sharing, right? Like we try to just lower the barrier to gatekeeping in that sense, right? Like prompts are prompts. This is a community. But if you at the end of the day you don't want to do this, I mean, I guess you don't have to, right? Like, I mean, you could go through and not have an archive visible. You don't have to do the spotlight if you don't want to. You don't have, like you don't have to do this. So it's optional, right? But I think you would at a minimum have to go through your archive and clean that up if you've ever run anything public. The other thing that I think about with the spotlight, which would be nice though, is the ability to drag and drop these things in different places versus chronological order.
Good idea. Good point. Yep.
Just because it's like, okay, well, what if I like this and then I spotlight a bunch of things after that and I don't want it to be buried kind of thing.
Then it becomes a little bit more portfolio-ish too. Yeah. Good point. I like that one. That's an easy one, I think, maybe, or like a reorder. Something
I think
like
so
that.
too. And these can also be videos. I've got stills up. I think you've got stills up. These can be videos, right? I kind of wish we would have gone through this for the first time again, because there was basically like some instructions of like this has to be, it's got to be in this aspect ratio, and it's got to be connected to an SRAS mood board or like a profile or something like that. So yeah, man, this is super cool. I mean, it's just like another way to maybe like bring people closer together versus kind of like combing through images, and then maybe you could click on a name and you see some of their stuff, but that's where it ends kind of thing. I mean, now you can interconnect these social platforms, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, I like it. Well done.
Good job. Yes. Simple, a little bit easier to understand than the style creator, but
yeah.
I'm sure the style creator gets some upgrades as other things have before too. I mean, it's also nice to look at more than the one thing about style creator, like versus the personalization preferences. It's nice to look at 10 to 15 or to 20, whatever that number is, instead of 2. It's like much more to me, much more effective. Like then, like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So
100%,
like, much better. But yeah, we'll see where everything goes. I'm just kind of like really tuned in for version 8 because
me too.
We got a lot to catch up on here, guys.
We do.
Now,
a lot, dude.
I know now too. Like, you gotta have something. Gotta have something like this. Not
gotta have a counterpunch there.
Capability, but it's got to be something.
This just continues to go back to that point that we were talking about, where these these different platforms just are going in their own separate lanes in different directions, right? Like that split, that niche has sort of started to take place. I mean, it started a long time ago, with maybe Kriya leading the way, like being that first piece, but it was just like, now you're starting to see all these different sort of niche directions here. I'm curious to see what Midjourney does with V8 beyond just the quality, the coherence, they got a talented team over there. I love the folks over there. I just, that's why we have this show, man. I mean, we're obviously Midjourney super fans, and I want them to win, and I love the platform. So I'm really, really hyped for V8, and have high expectations at the same time.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, look, that's the quality to me, great right now. I just can't change things. Like, the ability to make little changes to the things that you want to change, even in the editor, it's still not. I mean, it's good. It's just not as precise as you want it to be with certain things, or there's just a lot. I feel like there's just a lot of tools that can do that now, and it's just like we're not asking to overhaul the entire Midjourney experience. It's just like, I'm sure a lot of people want a world build, and they want to build characters, and they want to build whatever. It's like, this is the functionality that you need. So, again, I'll say that for the 4th podcast in a row. But that's really all I'm hoping. They could give me nothing else. If they just gave me that for version 8, I'd be like, cool, I'm in. Like, that's it. It's good enough.
Hell yeah.
From an aesthetic standpoint and a range standpoint, that's really all I'm looking for. So
I'm with you.
yeah, but good job on the getting these two things released. Of course, it was been a couple weeks since they had anything, and now it's just bang bang, same week, 2 consecutive days. When it's ready to fire, just fire it out. No PR necessary.
I mean, it's not like anything else has happened this week, right?
No, not at all. Zero.
I mean, my God, man. So, I mean, I guess we segue to Nano Banana Pro.
Nano.
Is it Nano Banana Pro? Is that what it is, or is it Nano Banana 2? I don't
Gemini
even know.
3, Nano Banana 2, Nano Banana Pro, whatever. It's
My
good.
God.
That's all you need to know.
I thought I saw something a long time ago before this dropped where it was talking like somebody had seen something about a potential name of ketchup
Catch up.
for the next one.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that would have happened. That would have been dope.
They need another, like, it like took on like its own sort of brand. So I feel like they had to like keep it in some way, shape, or
They
form.
did. They did.
And they have problems with naming stuff because they just have too many names. But now it's like, it's got like 6 different names. It's like it's got to stay now because it just took over for a while. So that one's
Google needs some naming convention help.
yes. I mean, yes. It's like everything. There was before it was Google. Before Google Labs, it was then it was Google. I think it was like Video FX, and then it was Labs, and then it was now it's Google Flow, and now there's Gemini Studio, and then there's how many different products do you guys have? Like all of them, and they're all something different, and then you can all use them in one place or like only certain of them in some place. It's whatever, they're doing a good job. It's like Gemini 3 is pretty damn good too, not just the image side, like the regular LLM side. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I barely have played with it yet, but like the first example I pulled up was just I dropped in. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's just like this is nothing crazy by any means, but I think I was just trying to think of like that immediate use case of, hey, this can do something with video now. I don't have to upload a whole transcript. Oh, okay, cool, right? So for example, I took our last episode, right, and like this wasn't I actually did this in the car, so don't text and drive. Don't be like me. But I dropped this in, carefully review this, right? Just the YouTube link. Tell me what this video is about. Give me 5 impactful takeaways. Give me a perfectly optimized YouTube description for this video with self-deprecating and informational tone perspective, right?
Cool.
Okay. This is video episode 56, blah, 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 blah. Goes through really good recap. Here are the 5 impactful takeaways. We talked about the imperfection advantage. Midjourney's, capable of doing things beyond just like that editorial professional photorealism, right? Grok's infinite scroll, Midjourney's utility king. We talked about the outpainting, like that stuff that we were talking about with changing the aspect ratios, flux face, visuals are replacing text. Then you get into the, description, did a pretty good job here. Like, and obviously I could have gone a lot deeper with the instructions, started to pull out individual markers for those things. And then hyperlink the
NSFW Grok. We panicked.
We did. We did. We definitely panicked on air.
Hold up.
I don't think YouTube liked us for that one. And then I was doing this on the Gemini app on my phone too, and it actually started to play the podcast right in this chat.
Really?
Like it auto played it. So I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. So that's really the only thing I've done with it so far. But would love to, get your perspective on that too. Like, how much have you played with this so far? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
Not enough to like go crazy on something. I was like, oh, let me test the vibe coding stuff. Let me test the whatever stuff, the other things that were going on. Let me test the image generator. Let me test the LLM with some crazy asking, deep research and then synthesizing stuff. Just like things that I could do in the background, like while I was doing other work, and like seeing what it could do. Clean, fast, pretty impressive in terms of thought process. Like I had some pretty interesting stuff going on yesterday. If anyone hasn't seen, there's a great post. Hold on, they're on Nano Banana 2. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. There's a few things in here. Henry Debrez, he is an excellent filmmaker in the AI space, and I don't say that lightly because like I think a lot of the AI film stuff is just like whatever. You know what stands out because it's really good, and you have to have a film background. But let me share this. Let me share.
Yeah,
this
I was gonna say, go ahead and share that.
This was awesome. So this was great. Henry, believe works for Google Labs in some way, shape, or form, but he he put up this trailer for the new thing that he made with Nano Banana Pro, and it's really good, right? But the real cool thing is like the stuff that he goes into inside his thread here, where he's talking about all like the different shots and how he sort of came up with it, right? But there's a few things in here that were pretty interesting when it comes to like the way that he was generating. So he added, let's see here. First, he gathered references from the film where he created an image in 3, and then he wanted to create a character sheet from some of the stills, right? So he created the character sheet. The split stack thing is pretty interesting.
Saw that. I'm glad that you brought up this example actually, because I had seen this either this thread or another thread that he did that was talking about this. This is great. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's asking for the split stack in this, and so it all generates at one time, and it's all relatively coherent based on what's happening in the scene. So
like would have been cool to have that last week when I was doing those 4 stills, you know?
Yeah. Again, the split stack on the 12 too. Like this is actually really impressive for the coherence and stuff like that. Naturally, this style is going to work better because of basically less texture and sort of less supreme detail. Like some of this isn't going to work depending on how detailed your images are. But like that was interesting. What was this? Flipping back to the landscape. There was a few other things in here that I thought were pretty interesting. This one, what does this scene look like 300 milliseconds before, 100 milliseconds after, 1 second later, right? So just like going in sequence, which I thought was also pretty cool.
Such a cool thought, in the first place.
Totally. Because
I don't know that I've seen that before. Like, and maybe that's just because nothing would react to that previously. I have no idea, but I love that thought process as a prompt. Like that is stellar.
Yeah, that one that I've used that before. Like basically, the problem with video a lot of times you feel like you have the image that should be the middle frame. in like if you're doing keyframes, like you want something before and after. But sometimes that's a good way to generate the keyframes, right? Is to do it that way. I think this one was pretty interesting also. It's also is good with text, so you can draw animation notes and then send it to VO3. Like this was just a good, I thought it was a great design to sort of like show, how sometimes you can craft a shot in a little bit of a different way, like using the annotations, which was good. Like this is another good example that someone shared, right? Like these are pretty intuitive, like on the like you got the timing on the ramp, which is great. Frame, you have the cape secondary action flow. This is cool. Like, and it actually, from that standpoint, but very, very interesting ways that people are using this stuff right now. And I was like trying to wrap my head around it. It's like, you can do anything. It's like, damn it. Here we go again. Let's just see.
Well, this just backing up really quickly here. Yeah. How underrated though is this priority in terms of staying up to date and expanding your surface area knowledge of any given tool or use case application? You have to be following people on social that are doing similar but different things than you to understand the vastness of the capabilities and things that you just wouldn't have thought of yourself. I mean, this has to be a part of your process to stay up to date. If you're listening to this and you are not on something like X, for example, and you're trying to keep up, it's a mistake. You got to get on here. You got to get on here and follow the right people, because this is also part of it. It's not just what you can think of and come up and play with too, but it's just the ability to almost see something and be able to compartmentalize certain capabilities and use case applications that you just otherwise would not know about. You just have to be doing this.
Totally. I mean, there's some really crazy stuff. Like, I did one yesterday that I was just like, well, this is epic. Going through it and say, like, being more so like, here's a website, right? This one basically, let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I have it. No, I'm gonna have to look through.
Also,
paying.
Yeah, go for it. I was just gonna say also with Nano 2 or Pro, whatever the hell we're calling it, they did stamp in something that was interesting with AI detection capabilities in the metadata, I believe. I don't have the article up. It's actually in my other tab and I don't want to lose it here, but it's essentially along the lines of you can take anything that was created with Google, put it into Gemini and say, hey, was this generated, right, with AI? Now, I tried that. I tried doing that with something that wasn't generated in Google to kind of see if it could smell out that test.
How'd it work?
And I just closed Gemini, but it couldn't tell. Okay. I don't know, but in terms of like what you're creating in there is sort of like that watermark or metadata built in. So it's just something maybe to be aware of as well. But
very interesting. Yes, that was well, here's while I was looking for what I couldn't find, of course. Here's just some of the stuff I was running with using Henry's sort of idea here. I was like, let's take our last thumbnail and sort of like I said, do the 3 stack, but rotate by 45 degrees like concurrently in each single one. So it's like, okay, we're getting that. This one, where was the other one I did was, let's go for the vertical tilt, by 45 degrees on each one. Let's go, varying camera angles here, which I'm like, all right, let's preserve also like the positioning of the people so we can build a whole story out of this stupid.
This is, taking this from a standpoint of nodes too, right, Rory? Like, think about Weavy for a second. If you can change, hey, take this to a second before this or a second after this, that changes sort of workflows in there too, right?
Totally. Everything.
So
it's really awesome. I mean, like this stuff was, let me see if this is in here. This was also impressive. I was playing with some of the text capabilities, which I was using a grok image, which is like definitely a little bit out there, right, in terms of like what it looks like. And I'm like, well, let's see if I can layer some text on here in a very specific way.
Did you indicate the typeface on that or give any specification on the font?
Let's see. Wanted to remove the Kodak text. It said, let's add visually immersive saying telepathy, breaking the text vertically and stacking it while adding opacity and depth to create a balanced design. I put it in here. Typically when I stack text or want to do text, like this is a great way to do it if you want to have like the text broken out, like or if this is words, like I just say do it like this. Like
great thought, dude. Great thought.
It works like if you're doing certain words, like when I do the thumbnails, that's what I figured out is if I
okay, interesting.
So it all comes in instead of it being like all on one line or like
just looking funky compositionally or it blocks a great part of the image or whatever it is. Yeah.
So it's like text takes over the entire frame. Letters are transparent with the glass refraction that's directionally correct over the layer. And then I wanted to give it sort of like a little fisheye distortion so it wasn't just straight across, which like gave it some more dimension.
I love that, dude.
Really impressed with like the refraction piece of it where it's actually like looking through and like essentially magnifying the certain pieces of the image. And I was
I'll tell you one thing. When you sent this to me last night, I couldn't really appreciate this then now that I've got this context, right, of what you kind of put into this. Because obviously this is bigger than my phone, but two, just seeing what you kind of instructed here is really, really cool.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, if it can do that, like if it can do like refracted.
You got this. You got this. Operationalization.
glass, right? I was like, huh, because this one, this one actually got it when I left the Kodak piece in there, and it did it, like it refracted it like really well, which I was like, huh, okay, because then I wanted to try and sort of like bend it a little bit and see if that would change the refraction, which it did. Like it changed the perception distortion here, which again, like you can see where's the example of it here? I think like her head or something is up here, and like some of this is a little bit more magnified, if that makes sense. But to me, that's a really complicated thing to do, like for an image generator, to keep this thing sort of coherent. Yeah. So I was like, all right, that's kind of wild, right? There's so many different things with this tool that I've just been finding. I did myself with a little, mukbang.
on
90s frozen food, live stream. That I don't know why that was in my head. I was just.
It looks like you're really enjoying that right there.
Yeah, that's it. I got my mozzarella sticks, I think, or fish sticks. Maybe some. What was that like? Captain D's. What the hell are those? Do you remember the fish sticks?
Dude. Oh yeah. The frozen fish sticks. Oh my God, they're terrible.
Got my bagel bites in the background, pizza rolls. It picked that one up right away. It's just like, not that hard. But there's some other cool stuff I came across too, which was, using color palettes to sort of shift things and make micro changes, which I was like, huh, all right, that's a good thing. I don't know how this is, this is just something fun I was playing around with here, but like I fed it this image, right? And I added these manually, the color palette and like the reference image. And I was basically like, take the reference image. I want to adapt the jersey style to match this style and use this color palette to sort of fill in the design aesthetic. I was like, cool. So that's cool. Like it did that. Then I was like, well, can I really go micro? Which I think this is a bigger deal than probably we're thinking, is like, can I give it all of these micro annotations, which the editing has always been really hard. Like on the editing models, like getting really small changes has typically been pretty hard. You can do bigger changes, but small changes is hard. So I'm, changing the helmet color, changing the logo, changing the jersey texture and color, changing like the micro details on the sleeve, changing this little logo here, keeping the stripes, changing the face mask, changing the color of the jersey, and the numbers and the trim, right? And it's just like bang.
Boom. Okay. One shot. Yeah.
And then even here, just like making it more random, like with harder things, like make this reflective chrome, make the number reflective chrome, change the stripe to this, do that. I'm like, okay, it's just really impressive for making the micro changes. Some really cool stuff as of recent, but that's like what's going on, man. This is like, I'm scratching the surface. I got to play with this for an hour, and you can do a million things. Naturally, product translation, very good. Like product to product, car to car, character to character, really good. Stronger, having the 2K or 4K options.
Yeah,
great.
Yep. What do you think the best place to use this currently is in terms of the platform?
So what I can't show on here is some of the client stuff that I was doing yesterday. But what was cool is like for a piece of ad creative, like using Gemini Studio for this, if you have it, like you're able to pull in from websites and information. So I was like, here's the product, here's the website, pull in like the icons and like sort of like the product benefits and features to like stylize the ad creative and like bring it in, and just like bang. Took it all in, like exactly one for like the right icons, the right fonts, the right colors. I was like, oh, this is great. Like that's a really nice way to do it. Like that one. I think all these aggregator tools, they all have promotions right now. So, you get Higgs Field and free pick and
it's just like what is the best bang for the buck? I don't know. I think as of right now, I'm just using free pick mostly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think at least in terms of what I knew, it felt like the best option. But I don't know for sure. I was curious if you had a thought on that, but
I've been liking Gemini Studio only because I wanna play with it in its own environment first, like and see what like are the more complex things it can do with the LLM side attached to it, right? Versus like what I'm doing in Weavy, I feel like I know what I'm doing there with it to
Right.
begin with.
Right.
And what I already have it sort of built in for is just an upgraded part essentially. Uh,
Hmm.
but like Gemini Studio, there's like more things that you can do because it has the LLM baked in. Even though I don't like the chat window sort of situation, but neither here nor there.
I feel like I knew that. I feel like I knew you didn't
Yeah,
like that. Yeah. Yeah, man.
open ended.
This is crazy. I mean, there's been just some awesome examples. I mean, you went through a bunch already. Um, Removes backgrounds, background removers. They're fucking toast.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, just yeah. It's crazy. I mean, we're just scratching the surface on it. I've definitely saved and curated quite a bit. I think also going back to the text part, right? Just the complexity. You and I were chatting too about like, hey, what if I've got 8 different parts of this visuals that I want to have in here in terms of like a flat lay of food ingredients, and then I also want to throw on text, instructions in there, and it
there you
just
go.
it just couldn't get there. It just couldn't get
Oh,
there
okay.
before. I can't wait to try it now. But it's just like if you can't one shot and you run it a couple times, you can't get it. It's just like, oh well, damn, it's just gonna be a pain in the ass either way. Either I'm gonna have to do this without the text and just get all the ingredients first, and then add text. But I think like this looks like it can handle text more comprehensively, more at a higher a more complex sort of standard too. Like you've probably seen a few of these too, right? Where it's like,
Pull it up.
you've got a whole whiteboard, right? Like step by
Yeah.
step instructions, right? You've got, even this, right? A lot of text in here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like this or not, probably just because of the value change of the banana, but like a lot of text in here, right?
It's really good.
That's a lot of text. So I mean, this is going to unlock several new capabilities and workflows for people. I'm excited for that too. Like, because even though we had all these great things, even though we had Nano Banana before, there were still limitations. There were still plenty of limitations. And
Let me
now
see if I
this
can
this feels
find.
like that next step.
Let's see if I can find. Rourke did a good post on graphic design too, which I thought was pretty impressive. Some of the things he was able to create with the graphic design portion of this. Let me see if I.
I feel like you're gonna love this if you haven't
Which
seen it
one?
already. Still from a shopping channel VHS tape from
Oh yeah.
1986 where somebody's selling the most useless trinket ever invented. This is
Totally have that bookmarked. 100%.
amazing.
I already have it, of course.
Oh my God. I just love the
Yeah,
creativity of other people too. You're just like, I don't know that I would have thought of that. That's amazing. And then you got something like Anthony Edwards poster. Let's put Kim Jong-un in there. I
Amazing.
mean, so you got upscaler, sure, right? There's that post from Henry that we were talking about. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. This was kind of interesting too. This guy uploaded the first page from his book and then got a cinematic sequence from it. Right. So he had
Awesome.
a prologue here. Got that. Right. So it's just like this is definitely an entire new step. Right. If we're
Yeah.
talking about levels, this is a new level.
Click into Justine Moore's one. I think she's got a couple interesting ones in there. If I'm correct. The one
What'd you
with,
say?
Our minds are blown. Justine Moore. I think she's got a couple. Scroll up a little bit, or down. Hold. There. That one with Mr. Beast.
Oh, this
There's
one.
a few
Okay.
examples. Yeah, I think there's a few examples in that thread that are
Okay.
that are somewhat interesting.
So you've got,
Like,
yeah.
image generation with Surge, like technical drawings. That to me is like just crazy that it can do that stuff. So insanely impressive. This was,
Infographics
yeah,
that aren't trash, that aren't trash.
no,
Because you could say infographics before, but there's gonna be some hangups in there,
yeah,
which kind of defeats the purpose, right? It gets you excited enough, and then when you try to do it for something maybe you're actually going to use, it's like it's not quite there. But this looks different. Virtual state, yeah. What is this one?
There's some
Came up with the set list, behind the scene shot, tour bus. Yeah,
all
some
right, so
cool
that's
stuff
what
in there.
that's what it was. I just remember what Rourke was doing. If you guys don't follow Rourke, he's always got some good stuff. He was uploading a design brief from like instead of like the PDF, like he was screenshotting the images with like the design brief and like using those as image references and then like basically giving it the image and saying like do this like as a graphic designer and it was just like followed like 6 pages worth of design brief. It got
That's
nailed it.
insane,
I'm
bro.
like, right? I'm like it's intuitive because it's reading the post. It's not just like referencing. It's like all right.
This
read
this
what
one
you
was
give me.
this one was cool too, Rory. This one's on Instagram, but basically got this image. I gave it a very rough architectural set. Read the sketch, keep the proportions, structure. Or damn, why do I keep doing that? You can tell I don't use Instagram on desktop.
Yes.
This arrow. But,
Damn.
render the whole building section in Corten and glass, then take the central debating chamber, build an accurate, correctly labeled exploded diagram. I mean,
Whoa.
these are like spaces that a lot of the people on X aren't in. But like, imagine bringing this to this particular vertical and just blowing people's fucking minds.
Crazy. This is like the thing is, it's like it's so open ended and creative. You can do a lot of stuff with it. I haven't even thought about stuff yet. And I was like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Probably take a picture of my refrigerator and be like, can you make like a Thanksgiving menu? Dream up the meals and make the Thanksgiving menu from what's in my refrigerator right now. Like just based on, and it'd probably like come up with the recipes, make the menu, do whatever. Like this is just stupid things. I'm like, you can do a lot. Like, fine, I use it for certain things too that I don't even like remember that I use it for. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
Yep.
My buddy asked me the other day. He's like, his kids were in a picture together, and one of them's looking the wrong way, and he's just like, "Can you just make their eyes look both at the camera?" And it did in like 1 second. It's like simple things like that, where it's like, like you forget you do them, but they're like useful in everyday life and like not for yourself.
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's a great point.
But now it's like I'm open season for everyone on AI stuff because now they all know that what can be done. I'm like, oh, can you just do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this? Can you change this? Guys, like,
I mean, there's such an
watch the
opportunity
YouTube channel.
too for folks that are in house to be like the gear of change and add a whole nother level of, sort of like value to you with unlocking these capability. I like these typical businesses, they might have one or two people that are playing with these tools at a deep level.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity there, if that, you know what I mean? And so like, I just think like if you're in B2B SaaS, for example, because that's where I came from, I'm like, you better at least know how to do Nano Pro, moving forward. I mean, that has to be the new standard of what you would need to come in with. I mean, just imagine how much more agility and creative freedom you have with that capability alone. I mean, that changes an org. And then I think the hardest part about that though is then communicating that value all the way up and then actually having the resources of the team to like scale that out. You know what I mean? I think that's the challenge for a lot of these businesses that don't have a me, you, or these people that are listening to this there or that they're working with. I mean, it's crazy.
It was awesome because yesterday I was in Boston the last 2 days with one of my clients, just like on site. We were just like going in deep on a lot of the Weavy stuff, which is probably like 50 to 60% nano. And I'm working with like professions and like professionals in like areas that I've never touched before. So I don't know anything about the 3D space. I don't know anything about like really the VFX space. But like as we're working through this, it's like I'm seeing the way they're doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is cool because we can apply this tool in that situation. And then it's like yesterday we were trying to figure out how to swap a product like perfectly like in a video and do this like is like localization in terms of like changing the color of the product or whatever. And it was like, It's like, oh, we can extract the frame, and then we can use Nano to remove it, and we can replace it and use it as a pose and style, pose detection, and then like place it back in, and then layer the lighting back in the right way. It was like they're like, this is exactly how we do the stuff in the VFX. We're just doing it with a different set of tools. And then they were like freaking out, like this is so awesome because like can we sort of like get the matte version of this and extract this, basically. On your green screen stuff, right? Like a lot of times you gotta like strip the lighting down to make it matte, then put it back in. I'm learning all stuff I didn't even know existed, and like not that I didn't know existed, just like no idea that's how you did it. And now it's like, okay, you can see all the tools, how they're all coming together, but it's awesome to see how other people with different backgrounds do it, like completely different backgrounds do it, because it's like,
yeah.
Now I got ideas.
I love when you could see their brain moving too, trying to comprehend what it actually means for them.
Yeah, because
like in that moment, I'm sure you saw that on their face.
Because it's not the thing is a tool like Weavy. It's not a centralized tool like Photoshop or Blender or Premiere or whatever, where you have like all of your things like listed. It's like you have to know what each individual like outsourced tool is and what they do, and then like put them all together. So it's sort of like once you know that they're in there, and it's like, okay, cool, this is actually like really legit, because there's certain ways that they had to provide like imagery to their team, because like they're gonna do like some like CGI compositing in it, so they had to have like something with the product in it and then something without the product in it. But a lot of times there's like a hand interacting with it, but the hand has to stay exactly in the same place doing the exact same lighting. Like nothing can change except the product has to be erased and has to be filled, right? So because they're providing both, like one with the product and one without, so they can do CGI edits if they need to. So it's like there's these little like intricate things that go on the back end that I was like, oh, okay, this is all starting to, like, you can start to see where this stuff comes, super in handy. Like now that meta thing that they released this week too, segment anything, the SAM model. I showed that to them. They were having like come on. It's like,
come on.
I don't even know what to do with this. Like you guys, I'm sure do, but like rock and roll. I mean, that's something I'm very curious, because that feels like we've been talking about for the last 2 years now, almost, where it's like anything is a variable within any image, and then like you can change basically anything, move the positioning, change the background, move into the scene, move out of the scene. Like everything just becomes 3D. Then it's like we're just like isolating our own world.
It's almost like, you're getting toward that Minority Report moment where you've got the scene and then you're just controlling it with the hands. Like at some point, just reaching down and dragging and circling things with a mouse is probably obsolete, right? Where it's almost like you're just immersive in a scene. Boom, boom, boom. Remove this, take this, you're just doing all kinds of crazy shit with your hands, maybe. I don't know.
Tony Stark it, same thing. It's like I want to build in that like 4D holographic space. Like, yes, no, that's what we're hoping for. That and AI contacts, like we talked about last week. We're getting
AI contacts,
futurist up in here.
Yeah, dude, wild fucking week.
And it's you'll have a lot more stuff probably coming out next week as people get their hands on this and have really been putting it to the test to see where it goes. I already saw someone make a comic book out of their LinkedIn profile, like it's like their resume. I was like, that's
what?
Genius. Yeah.
What? Wait, do you have that handy?
I gotta see if I can find it. But someone made their. I saw that they uploaded their LinkedIn URL into Gemini, and basically said like, make my career journey a comic book. So it was like their resume as like little frames in a comic book, and I'm like, yeah, it's super cool. People are creative, man. Like, people are creative. It's smart. I love it.
That's insane. I love it too, man.
Good, just a solid good use of your brain there, and all the hate.
It also makes you feel like shit when you start seeing all the cool stuff and you haven't even played with it yet. I'm like, God damn it.
And I'm like, let me change a color palette.
yeah. Let me take that first step first.
Yeah. I saw. I think the other one that was pretty cool was like one of the YouTube guys I can't remember his name, but he saw someone's lighting setup that they liked in an image, and it was like,
Yeah.
screenshot it, and he's like, give me the lighting setup in a 3D sort of sketch mock-up, and then it like put the lighting in like the places that it should be, and like from the direction and like the tilt and the angle. I'm like, that is intense, but I screw with stuff like that. I like when people sort of hack the system like that. That's pretty cool. So much, man.
I want to see if I can find that now because I know exactly what you're talking about. Here it is.
Found it.
There it is. Yep. Right here.
Yes, that's it. Maybe not exactly as I described it, but still cool.
That's right, dude. That is, again, like to even think about that in the first place, but then for it to do that. So
Yeah.
that's insane. Yeah. That is wild, bro.
There's so much fun stuff that we're gonna probably have to go over in the next like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and right in time for the holidays. But
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. I guess we got to figure out next week too, right, Rory? I mean, Thanksgiving, Friday, we'll have to connect, just kind of see what's going on. But I'm glad that we got this one in because I think we were thinking last week, shit, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get it in, and a lot happened, and we got it in. So
yes, good stuff. We knew you guys. We couldn't leave you hanging on Nano Banana Eve or Day, whatever the hell it was. Like that's a big change for the industry. Obviously, Midjourney had a lot of stuff, but this is again like another push, another leap forward. Like seems like we have like these sort of like, I don't know, like we're just sort of like trotting along and then we hit full sprint, right? Like this is one of those full sprint moments again.
everything shakes up. Yeah, it's like you got to rethink everything a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But if you're still here, damn it, like and subscribe. You know the deal. And tell somebody.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Tell your mom. Tell your dog
somebody about
walker. Yeah.
Mailman.
Tell your baby. Tell your baby about it.
Bartender. Maybe your babysitter, something like that. Something here for everyone.
Yeah. Babysitter subscribership is low. We need to up that a little bit. So we'd appreciate that.
We need help with that one.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we got it in. This was great. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. We covered a lot. We're gonna be back. We're gonna have plenty to talk about next time too. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.